Hey guys, what's going on? This is Harvey, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about purchasing your first guitar. Excuse me. Now, here's the thing, I'm not fixing to bullshit you, I'm not fixing to sell you short, and I'm not fixing to give you bad advice. Now, I'm fixing to piss off every guitar company in the world because I'm going to tell you the truth about the matter. Now, depending on what kind of music that you want to play is going to be based on what guitar that you need to purchase. Um, I very strongly recommend everyone to start out with an acoustic, but if you just have to have an electric, that's fine. We'll go over that as well. Uh, don't spend a lot of money on your first guitar. I'm going to tell you that right now because there's a lot of stuff that comes into play here. Your first guitar, you're learning how to care for the instrument, you're learning how to play. Now, I'm not saying get a cheap instrument, but I would say anything between $150 and $200 is just fine. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as well. I don't spend a whole lot on my guitars, and I'm gonna tell you why. This is the part that's gonna piss off all the guitar companies. All right, on an electric guitar. Now we're not talking about acoustics. We're just talking about electric. These here are called your pickups. See, this is a humbucker here, and I've got two single coil pickups. Now, this is a Squier. Okay, so this is a generic Fender. These guitars are made just like the Fender is. The only difference is that a lot of times it'll be just a tad bit less quality as far as, like, say, this is probably basswood. It's a lighter, thinner wood. But when it comes to electric guitars, what kind of wood it's made out of doesn't matter as far as sound. Once you plug it up, it doesn't matter anymore. Sure, the type of wood matters when it's unplugged. But once I plug this guitar up, it doesn't matter. And people are going to argue this. I've even been kicked off of forums for this. Do you want to know why wood doesn't matter? Because pickups are magnets. Your strings are metal. Put a magnet up to a piece of wood. See what happens. It's not going to pick up anything. This is the sales gimmick the guitar companies have been using forever. Once you plug it up, it doesn't matter. Because these magnets are not going to pick up the sound of the wood. You can make any guitar sound like anything you want. When you buy an electric guitar, if you're buying out a starter electric guitar, don't buy the guitar for the sound because the sound can be changed. What I want you to do is I want you to buy a guitar for the comfort, the feel. How does it feel in your hands? We're not worried about the sound. You see these? These can be replaced. Either you can replace them yourself, or you can take them to your local music store and they will replace them usually for about $50 if you already have the pickups, that is. And don't go out and buy a very expensive instrument. I mean, especially if you're a beginner, because your instrument's going to get beat up, banged up a little bit, everything else. And again, it depends on what kind of music that you want to play. I'm going to get off the tone wood subject, but I just had to let you guys know that is the secret of Gibson, Fender. Look, I have played $6,000 Gibson Les Pauls that sounded like shit. All right, and I've played, cheap generic Yamahas and Squiers and Korean-made, Indonesian-made guitars that sounded a lot better than that Les Paul. And as far as the Tonewood thing, look up Will's Easy Guitar. Look at his channel. He does a demonstration on everything that I just said. Scott Grove, Groovy DJs, I think is the name of this channel. He does a video about Tonewoods as well. I've been kicked off of forums for this, so anyway. But when you're buying your guitar, like I said, you want to pick it out for the feel of it. How does it feel in your hand? And by the way, this here is this is a Squier Stratocaster Affinity Series. This is an Indonesian-made guitar. What separates this one is it has one humbuck and then the two single coil pickups. The reason that I purchased this, I've always loved the Stratocaster body. The Stratocaster body is about the most comfortable body that you're going to find. Something about the way that it feels. Several guitar companies have imitated this body style. Yamaha, PV, on down the line. Stratocaster is a great guitar to start on. And the reason that I wanted the one humbuck is so that I have a little bit of flexibility. With this guitar here, I can swap it up here. I can play a lot of country western stuff, punk rock. Then I'll drop it down here to the humbuck, and I can actually get away with playing some metal stuff once I run it through my pedal, stuff like that. And I have modded this one. As you can see, it's got the Miller Lite buttons. I've done that myself. And there ain't nothing wrong with modding your guitar. I mean, make it your own. That's why, I'm not really for buying Signature Series guitars, because why do you want somebody else's guitar? Do your own thing. Alright, I'm starting to ramble now. Alright, pick your guitar out for the overall feel. Whatever guitar feels good to you, use it. Don't play what everybody else is playing. Don't worry about anything else. You go, you try the guitar. There is a lot of good priced guitars. $150, $200. Check Musician's Friend. You can check Guitar Center. I'm not a Guitar Center fan at all. I use Musician's Friend. Check them out. Go to your local music store, even if you're not going to buy a guitar. Here's what I recommend you do. Go to your local music store, right? Pick a guitar that you like that's a budget-priced guitar. Pick it up, play it, see how it feels, right? Then, you got your smartphone with you. Look it up on Musician's Friend. See how much it is on Musician's Friend. If the music store cannot match it, buy it from Musician's Friend and leave. If they can match it, buy it from them. Why would you want to pay more for the same instrument? So, there you go. Just pick out whatever feels good to you. If you want to be versatile, if you want to be able to play a little bit of everything, then I recommend the Squier Fat Strat Affinity Series. If you're into heavy metal, then I recommend getting a BC Rich or a ESP LTD. Dean. So yeah, Dean, ESP, BC Rich. I recommend those. If you're, a country player, then you're gonna want to stick with a Strat or a Tele. I recommend against Epiphones. I'm not a Gibson fan at all. Gibson's quality control is really shit. People seem to think that a Gibson Les Paul is just the greatest guitar in the world. But a lot of them sound like shit. And the ones that do sound good, I'm going to give you a hint and I'll tell you why. It's because these famous guitars change their pickups. Ace Frehley, very popular player of the Gibson Les Paul, but guess what? He uses D Marzio pickups. That guitar no longer sounds like a Les Paul. Make your guitar sound like whatever you want it to. Don't worry about the way it sounds. That can always be changed. And that's really about it, guys. That's all I can think of. And I don't care what kind of style of music that you want to play. Do not hesitate to learn the basics. I know a lot of guys that try to get into playing heavy metal music. They start learning how to play heavy metal music, and then they do not know any of the basics. The first thing they do, they want to drop it down to a D or drop it down to a C or an A, and they're just kind of grinding, just. But see, they never learned the basics. You need to learn your basic chord progressions. It doesn't matter what style that you want to play. Do not exclude the basics. Learn all your chords. I mean, even if it's just a few, learn how to be able to get up with a band and be able to pick it out. There's a lot of songs that are only 2 chords. A Horse with No Name by America, that's only 2 chords. It's an E minor chord, like I'm holding right now. And this chord, I can't remember what it's called, but hopefully you can see that. So, it's not that hard to learn your basics. I'm going to do a video on basic chords. So, take that with you guys. I know this has been kind of a long video, but, I wanted to let you guys in on some things because I don't want to steer you wrong. I grew up my whole life thinking that, you had to have a $1,000 guitar or you were going to not sound good. And just because you go out and you buy an expensive guitar is not going to make you a good guitar player, okay? Sorry. It's not about the guitar you play. It's your skill and it's practicing. Practice, practice, practice. If you don't practice, you're not going to get better. I don't care what kind of amp you got, what kind of guitar you got. If you can't play, you just can't play. And that's another thing. That's why you want to get a budget price guitar because, I'm not trying to put anybody down. But what if you buy all this expensive gear, and Lord forbid, but then you realize a year down the road, you suck. You're just not that good of a guitar player. And you've just wasted a hell of a lot of money. Don't do that to yourself. Don't put yourself in that position. Not everybody can play guitar. Matter of fact, my drummer, originally, he wanted to be a guitar player. Wanted to be a guitar player really, really bad. He went out, he bought it was a $500 Washburn guitar. I forget what kind it was, but he bought all this expensive equipment. It was over $1,000 worth of stuff. Guess what? He found out he sucks as a guitar player. Yeah. So he had to sell all of his gear and buy a drum set. He tried drums, and well, he's a pretty damn good drummer. So, but you don't want to put yourself in that kind of a position. And don't worry about trying to be Jimi Hendrix or trying to be Eddie Van Halen. You're never going to get their tone. Ever. I don't care what equipment you buy. I don't care. You're not them. I'm not them. You have to be yourself. 9 times out of 10, do you know where your tone comes from? Right here. This is where your tone comes from. Well, Jimi Hendrix's hands are different than mine. He might have a lighter touch, where I have a heavier touch. So, don't try to be anybody else. Just be yourself, and have fun is the main thing. Just have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun, you're not going to like learning. So, anyway, guys, I hope this helps. I hope this is informative. I'm going to post some more videos, maybe a few lessons for beginners. The main idea of my channel is not necessarily to give guitar lessons, but more to give guitar advice and also show you different things that you could do to help out with your playing and your equipment. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment in the box below, and have a great day.